Guys, come on in. Welcome to 317 Main Street. My name is Eric LeVine. I'm chef owner here. It's a gastropub, an American gastropub, and that means a little bit of everything for everybody. It's all about firing it up as always. So let's go in the kitchen. So the dish I'm going to show you is our most popular dish. It's one I cannot take off the menu, and I've tried, trust me. So this is our pan-seared scallop, served on a corn risotto, and we serve it with a cilantro jalapeno sauce. Okay, so the first thing that we do, extra virgin olive oil. Diced onions. One of the things I love about this induction burner from Waring, it actually gives you the ability to adjust the voltage, which is kind of fun when you're a chef and you want to go really, really hard, because most of the induction burners, they only go to 110. And one of the most important things is when you're making risotto is that you use a wooden spoon. And what happens is these little shards of metal come off in the flavor. It's something I learned many, many years ago, and it stuck with me forever. A little bit of arborio. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that arborio and orzo are the same thing. Two different things. Arborio is a rice, orzo is a pasta. I'm gonna add a little bit of white wine to it. So we have our fresh chicken stock here. I'm adding the stock in 4 parts, equal parts. Okay? And with risotto, you really want to keep it moving because you don't want it to coagulate, you don't want it to get stuck. But while that's going, one of the things I'm gonna do is show you the corn sauce. The great thing about this Waring blender is that it doesn't start on high and kill you because most of the time it blows off the top. You know, nothing worse than having it blow up in your face. I'm adding some of the roasted corn. I made a stock actually with the corn cobs. Just add a little bit in, start with. And this will become a nice puree that we're gonna fold actually into the risotto later on. And I love this one because you can really crank it up really high, or you can lower it. And one of the great things about corn, it has a natural starchiness to it, so that'll really help in making the sauce thick. Now I'm gonna power up and get as puree as I can for this. So that's perfect, that's ready to go. We'll move on to the next step. This is gonna be our cilantro jalapeno sauce. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna add some jalapeno, a couple pieces of onion, white vinegar, a little bit of lemon juice, a good handful of stemmed cilantro. What I'm gonna do is slowly add my oil to it. So these are all going to puree and blend together to make a beautiful sauce. So as you can see here, it's nice and creamy. When you add your cheese and your butter, shut the heat off. It can stay on the burner, but shut your heat off. I'm going to add a little bit of the corn puree to it. And then I'm going to finish with a little bit of Reggiano Parmigiano. And just a little bit of butter. But what's going to happen is the arborio is going to absorb all of the parm, all of the sauce, and by the time we get to the plate, it'll be nice and ready when the scallops are done. Now, we're going to get to the scallops. So these scallops are sea scallops. A common mistake with cooking scallops is people don't let their pans get really hot. Once you get the scallops in there, leave them alone, let them sear. Give them enough space so they can breathe, because if they're too close together, they'll steam. And steam is the death of a nice sear. So let it cook, let it sear. It takes about 2.5 minutes on each side. You want a little bit of that translucent vibe in the middle so you know it's cooked properly. So the last part of the corn risotto is actually adding fresh corn to it. A lot of people make the mistake with corn is that they boil it. What you want to do is just take the raw corn while it is and just add it to the risotto. Because I don't want mushy corn. I want it to be nice and crunchy, give the risotto some texture. If you know how to cook risotto, you can pretty much do anything. Of course, it takes time, it takes nurturing. It's kind of like, being the conductor of an orchestra, right? You have to know how every piece puts together, how everything feels together, so when it's done, it hits together. And that's one of the beautiful things about this dish. Okay, so now, I'm gonna start plating this. Lots of textures, lots of flavors. You get the umami from the cilantro sauce, you get the texture from the corn, from the scallops, the smoothness of the risotto itself. And I always try to use some local microgreens. So this one, this pea tendril, has a sweetness to it. It really blends well with the sweetness of the corn, the spiciness of the sauce. So the acidity from the jalapeno and the cilantro really creates a cool balance with the corn risotto. Love this dish, favorite dish on the menu. Fire it up.